Hello there, folks, and welcome to ZSR. We are here with another race tonight. We have got caznode versus foxlisk, trying to remind caznode that you really actually do have to join the race for the race to be able to start. So, we've got Misanthropic Buddha and Twin Mommy here to keep you appraised of what all is going on. We'll be starting here very shortly. Buddha? Twin Mommy? You still here? Buddha? Mommy? You here?
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
I'm sorry. Did I undeafen and remain muted while doing that intro? I apologize. I introduced you so kindly, and you didn't hear me.
No, you did. It was fine. It was fine. Let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, morning, afternoon. Welcome back to the 9th round of the losers bracket between caznode and foxlisk. I'm glad caznode was able to actually join in on this. We got to get this out of the way, as Yoho wants to know, where is my NT? Look, so, Yoho, I gave it to someone who is allegedly leaving the state, and hopefully it'll get to you. That's it. That's all I have. And so, of course, I'm here with one Twin Mommy. Twin, how are you doing?
Doing good tonight. I was going to ask how you're doing, but you sound very caffeinated, so it sounds like you should make it through the race.
Yes, I am thoroughly caffeinated right now. High as a kite, if you will. And then I'm going to crash right after this race, so that's going to be great. So, either way, why do I hear echo?
That might have been me, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I hear my voice and it scares me. So tonight actually should be a pretty good race here, just because at least when I talked to Frank over in the statistics department, told me that we actually have that both for Fox and Kaz, in terms of their average times, only about 10 seconds. So that's, 10 seconds apart in terms of their times. So that's pretty good. And so that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah, those notes that you sent over for me, not only one did it make me feel like I was back in school and I had homework to do, but it was really interesting to look at, and the average times and how close their PBs are as well.
Yeah, I forgot from the last race. I should make a quick correction here. So according to SRC, Kaz's PB's a 124.50. However, looking at his own splits, it's a 124.44. So I guess either they haven't been approved or he hasn't submitted his PB yet. But either way, my favorite note is A sharp. Thank you, Yoho, and thank you, Sirius.
A sharp what? I'm sorry.
Okay, very good. So now the poll has begun for all the degenerates. Get your gambling in. Now, of course, with Escape, not really a whole lot here to talk about, as always. Just we always look for, at least for me, ball and chain, and kind of how the back goes. That's really the two big things for me. I mean, there's other parts to this, but that's just usually what I look for. Twin, is there anything you're looking for in particular?
With runners of this level, I'm not super qualified to talk about the strats. Both of them are going for the 8/ on the ball and chain. I noticed that Kaz tinked once. I don't know if Fox did or not, but also the key rat RNG is something to watch for. We don't want to see any Seattle key rats tonight.
This is very true. It should be also noted here that interesting, at least, that Kaz is the first one out, even though that Kaz had to get rid of the guard, which takes a little bit of extra time, whereas Fox just had to boom. But I think what you said was what you noticed earlier is correct, and that Fox did in fact bonk off the guard once. So, but no, definitely a couple good points there. We'll see how this goes as both are making their way back. As of course, for runners of this level and higher, of course, one thing that you may not notice, of course, is going to be the little pumping, the action that they'll do whenever they move up or to the left. Sometimes you might see like their screen kind of move just like a fraction every so often. That actually gives them a little bit of extra speed. Pumping, thank you, Ham. Appreciate it. So now both are making their way back to the front.
Did they both remember Lamp? I hope so.
I believe so. How about you pump my Super NT here? Water pump via the ocean. Correct, that's where it's going.
Yeah, I thought you said you threw that in the ocean to make it back to him.
I did. It'll get there. It'll get there. So of course you got to grab. Of course, as Twin does mention, this happens to all of us at least once, where we're in the middle of a run, we're kind of just autopiloting escape, and we forget to grab the lamp. And you know that we forget to grab the lamp because we actually can't pull that door, or that part of the wall, I guess. So hopefully, as you can see, both of them got it. So it's just, one of those things that you're just kind of SMH my head, and then you just kind of move on. Both getting pretty good snakes, both getting through Dark Cross pretty well here. And let's come across that. We'll see where the key rat is for both of these men tonight. As Twin mentioned, we kind of want to avoid them going. We kind of want to avoid the key rat going up and left. Kaz came right to him. Fox had to walk a little bit, but not a huge deal. So no Seattle rat, I believe is what you called it.
Yeah, but the on Kaz's side, that rat, the other rat, got in the way, and so instead of picking up the key, the boomerang just stunned the other rat. So Kaz did lose a little bit of time in that room because of that.
Ah, that's a good call. I did not notice that. Fox first one of the lever. He will get through. And no, unfortunately, neither get rat frames, so that's a shame. But there we go. So now both, of course, going through Sanctuary. And even though... So right now, nothing you have to worry about in terms of hearts or rupees yet, or any of the other stuff on the top. If you gain Buddha high enough, he might squeal again. It's true, I might. You can also
when did you squeal?
You can also pinch me. You can also pinch me and make the same noise.
I missed the Buddha squeal?
Yeah, I need the context, actually. I don't remember when I squealed. Either way, Fox first one out. Kaz to follow. Of course, in Eastern Palace Overworld, not really, again, like I say a lot of the time, pretty much until Desert. When I heard... Oh, it was more of a groan. Yes. Yeah, that's about as much of a squeal as you're going to get from me. Really, the big part here, we'll see how the Octorok field treats both runners. And Fox and Kaz both had to... Well, Kaz got hit. Fox had to boom. But still, though, not bad. Still, maybe about a screen apart or so. And now, of course, the very subtle way to gain some speed here is to actually pump on the stairs, as well as pump as they're heading over. Fox had a little bit of trouble, manages to get through the statue. It looked like Kaz had a better time.
So I still don't understand how to double pump, but apparently double pumping is better than single pumping on these stairs, and lets you move just a little bit faster. I can only single pump, but I am nowhere near these guys' level, so.
Yeah, from personal experience, I don't do it well, but yeah, it's just a matter of how well you can destroy your D-pad. Usually what I do is I'll hold up and left, and then quickly mash the right part of the D-pad until it goes back and forth. So I'm going left, right, left, right, left, right. But I don't do that often. I really only do it... For whatever reason, I only do it here. I don't do it in any other parts of the run.
Both runners had some great Stealthos rooms there. No mistakes. And we're really close again.
Yeah, which is nice. It also should be noted that both, of course, grabbed Sankheart. Again, everybody, like I said, or at least every race that I've commentated, there's been sank hearts, but I know there's been a few exceptions as well. So both opt to slash the one Popo. Unfortunately, neither, I think, got a drop.
I think
That's a
Fox
shame.
is on the blue drop out there, which means he'll pick it up coming back through.
Oh, he did get the blue. All right.
Yep.
I didn't notice. I legitimately did not notice a ruby pop out before he went in the door. So, okay. Well, that's good for Fox then, because
Yes.
you need a requisite bare minimum of 4. Ideally, you would like 9 before hitting up Tree Rupees, because I believe with runners at their levels, I would expect that. So, well, I mean, we'll see, obviously, but we'll see how that goes. So, Kaz on 2.5 hearts, Fox on 2 hearts. Nothing really too worrisome yet. Well, I guess he'll kind of see what happens when we start getting into, the back
Yeah.
of Eastern
the
here.
back half is where Eastern gets interesting, in my opinion. We start off with Gifted with Greenies, which you shouldn't have problems with at this level, but, sometimes things go wrong, and it happens.
Yeah, usually, at least from my experience, you can aim either a little. It's either you shoot the arrow too soon, or you aim a little low, and you'll miss the Igor on the first shot. But both screen for screen, and both getting excellent Cannonball Room RNG. So for ZGR, Fox is able to get a little bit faster. Cass having a little bit of trouble with the Stalfos. Fox does manage to get through Red Igors.
No
As is
drops
Kaz.
for Fox in Red Igors that he picked up. Did Kaz get at least a couple?
Yeah,
Rupees
because he's
there?
at 8. He's sitting at 8 now, so yes.
Okay.
Fox gets himself the quick kill, and even does the thing where you shoot the arrow down and then go over the left. Kaz does the more traditional, as I like to say, to count to 18. But both had a pretty solid Eastern, all things considered. But Fox just a couple seconds ahead here.
Yep,
As
just a little bit ahead.
Yeah. Now both are making their way over to Saha so they can get themselves the boots. And
Sadly, we will not find out what's in Saha's closet tonight. That will remain a mystery.
this is true. Like I said, usually runners of this level, 124, 125, you kind of have to skip what we call the Saha rupees at this point. Though, again, for those who may not be familiar, in the back, when you first start running this, if you're not comfortable doing the tree pulls, then at least you know there'll be some bombs and some money behind the wall there. Fox.
Both runners.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, both runners were getting that spin speed right off the bat, which is a really good feeling and a great way to move through that overworld screen.
Right. So on their way to getting the library, or going to the library to get the book, I'm curious to see if either runner will do Unholy Spin Speed. And so that's doing the spin speed going to the library. Fox is setting up for it,
Yep.
and he gets it.
Looks
And
like Kaz is going for it as well.
Kaz also gets it. Good. So both get it. So it's one of those, well, like with the majority of the tech in this game, it's you do the trick right first time, first try. You save a couple frames here and there. Otherwise, if you mess that up, then you lose like a second or two. But both get what I feel is the more important spin speed leaving, because you save a little bit more time that way. Fox getting close to the guard, as is Kaz, but managed to get through past the grove. Now both are heading to desert.
Will we see a splashy dashy from either runner tonight?
Well, let's see. So Fox does the old menu buffer to not have that happen, as Kaz does not do the menu buffer and just does it all willy-nilly. So, of course, neither actually run in the water, which is good, because that actually, you go slower.
But it's not as fun. Link doesn't get a play in the puddles.
But while that may be true in this split, there's like half a segment where we do that, though.
But it's not as fun on that screen.
Okay, very good. I suppose it isn't. No, it's not. You're right. Because you actually have you actually have to think on that one. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah. Desert's just a lot of running around, running back and forth, collecting one item to go to the other side, to collect another item, to come back to the other side, and then we'll get to go to the back, where, again, things get a little bit more interesting than the front half.
Yeah, so in terms of the front, there isn't really a lot to talk about. In terms of, I guess, any RNG or any sort of worrisome things like that, the only part would be in the front here would be the cannonball room. But of course, in the back, the biggest RNG monster is going to be Landmo. So we'll see how much, if any, that will separate the runners at that point. Fox, unfortunately, having to stutter step because the cannons were saying no, whereas Kaz, on the other hand, gets the good run through, which means he gets the good return. So, but even though Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he saved just a little bit of time on that room because he didn't have to stop that dash.
Right. So at least he saved some time there. And what's nice is, Kaz about a screen behind, but, still plenty of game left. Now, Fox, interestingly, he grabbed himself the blue rupee underneath that pot, which isn't really a bad thing, just because that actually is, at least from what everyone's told me, that takes less time to grab that rupee than getting the 4th rupee from tree poles. Oh, that's why he was saying,
no, that's not good. That's really bad.
That's really why he was saying,
Oh,
right, so
Fox.
Fox spoiling his own mistake in there. Kaz going for spin speed and gets it. That spin speed is so scary. Fox opts to not do it. Well then, so Fox fell in the Sarlacc pit not once but twice, and he gets lasered. Okay, very good. But both looks like both get the key dash. So that's good there.
Fox needs to pull himself together.
Well, he does. We'll see if... and Kaz got the old unintentional damage boost from the I-beams. I'll be curious to see if Landmo will help with that.
He was practicing Landmo before stream, and he had some pretty... I would be ecstatic with some of his Landmos, especially since a lot of them were 2-cycle. Kaz is having trouble with those torches.
So Kaz went up and grabbed the extra arrows to be at 28, but like what you just said, unfortunately, the Igor was not letting them play with the torches, which now both, even with that mistake from Fox, they're now pretty much both, just only a few frames apart. Fox had a much better opening to look like there. Alright. So we're at 2 cycles. Kaz finally gets one. And, Fox could have actually had him. Kaz gets all of them. That's a 3-cycle. Fox gets all of his. That's a 3-cycle. So both had actually a pretty good Landmo fight. So that was good. That was actually really good.
Nice to see a pretty even coming out of Desert. Now we move into one of the worst splits in the game. The Hera split. Hera is a deceptively difficult dungeon and can be quite punishing.
Yes. Both the overworld and the dungeon itself can be awful. A huge time suck. Kaz opted to go for the Sandman dash, whereas Fox did not. But, it's only saves, a matter of frames there. We'll see how the Kaz had to stutter step for the pickle, as Fox did as well. Kaz, first in the water, gets fake flipper, as does Fox, as they both make their way through. Smooth transition to the portal by both runners. Excellent. It should also be noted that Fox actually switched to Boomerang after he got the heart at Landmo. Let's see if that will come into play here. As you see Kaz doing the more traditional approach, whereas Fox, that's the reason he switched to Boomerang, is that it allows him to boom the pickle, enable for a quicker dash. I like how both runners, when they went up, they actually managed to turn Link up and did a little bit of a double pump there, which is nice. I don't do that, but it, I like that touch. It's nice.
It's crazy to me how much pumping you can actually do in this game if you put your mind to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you watch any one, low, any 124, 123 runners especially, they're doing that literally. It feels like they're doing that literally almost every time they walk. Both had pretty decent patterns so far with the opening dead rocks and cabbages. Kaz unfortunately had to get stuck with a cabbage because he was on the stairs. Both get first try spin speed as now they are making their way up Death Mountain. So surprisingly, Death Mountain also behaving, at least for the first time. They'll be coming back 2 more times tonight. Kaz got himself a quick warp, as did Fox. Now, can they both get the second quick warp? I can't tell if Kaz did because I don't have his audio on. And Fox did not. But that's okay. So those are the little things we'll be looking for, because they'll be doing a lot of warping with the mirrors back and forth and going through portals and whatnot, and that can save a good amount of time as the run progresses. Kaz opting for boomerang strats, so hopefully we'll see that go down here in a bit. And what are you laughing about, Chex? Oh, excellent. And Kaz now firmly placed himself in the block, so now he will get to hang out and chill for a few seconds. Now, even though, you kind of get your hands a break from having to press any buttons, unlike Fox, where he has to now hold B and tap A a bunch, what's actually more important about this is that you now set up the pegs for the next room. And so for unlike for Fox here, Fox will actually have to go back, once he finishes, go into the next room, hit the switch up top, and then go down, whereas Kaz, as you see right now, doesn't have to worry about that, just goes right through, and the Moldorms were kind as well to let him pass. Yep, and then you gotta light a bunch of torches, which, as I've learned from experience, is next to impossible. And they both do it first try. They get the big key, and Fox is out, as Kaz was. It's alright, Chex. Beatles. Kaz. Good opening salvo. Okay, good. Good. And then Fox as well. Also a good Beatles. Good for both. Thank you, Anders. Appreciate it. Oh, Anders, do you have a trivia question? So, again, for those who may not be familiar, which I think most of you are right now, Oh. Okay, yeah, Twin just disappeared. So, there are 4 bomb jumps that we really have to care about that are the big time skippers in this particular race. The first one, as they both got first try, was the Hera bomb jump. And now Kaz is going to make his way up to Moldorm. Unfortunately, Fox misses the bumper skip. So he wasn't at the right pixel, and sadly, he got trounced back into the lower floor there, as it looks like the unskip. Thank you, Fox. Whereas Kaz, that was Moldorm not. Oh, and there he goes. Okay, very good. So unfortunately, Kaz became a victim to the hole.
Heckin'
And then Fox here. And Fox will now take a pretty substantial lead. Just even though he fell as well, he didn't fall at Moldorm. So, like I said, he'll take the lead now going into the next split. Let's hopefully Kaz can... Alright, Kaz manages to redeem himself, so he won't be that far behind, but still has a good amount of ground to gain. However, as we always say, we still have to deal with Aga.
Nice spin speed from Fox leaving Hera.
Indeed, and both are at a decent rupee count. We'll see how Fox handles that. Kaz not opting for the spin speed, which is fine. Okay, alright, good dash, a good dash out. Alright, so now this is where, as we always say, you want to be careful with taking damage, especially now. Okay, so yep, Alright, so Fox is going to opt to get the 2 blues at this first tree, and then he'll get the 4 reds after the Master Sword. But again, in between between the first and second tree pulls, it is imperative, do not take damage, do not take damage. And... okay, so that's interesting. So I guess Kaz is going to pick up a rupee along the way, because he's only going to be at 103 after Lost Woods, which you need 104 really before entering Aga Tower. So
Yeah.
we'll see
Maybe he's
how that.
hoping for the gold guards to drop something.
Probably, yeah. Usually the gold guards tend to drop, you know, at least. I don't know. I forget the colors, but it's like it's good odds that he'll get a rupee that way. If not, while it's not the greatest thing to do, he can easily boom something in the pot of world, kill it, and then that would give him the one he needs.
There is also the Poor Life Choices pot and one of the dark rooms in Aga Tower he can grab if he feels he needs to.
We do love the suicide pot. We do love the suicide pot.
Was Fox supposed to kill that bird?
No, he got the bush crab instead.
Okay. I think he usually goes for the bird, but the bush crab's a nice backup there.
Absolutely.
In case you missed that.
Yeah, whereas Kaz actually gets it. And then... and so there we go. He gets that. Okay. I didn't know we changed the name. Okay, very good. Sorry. So now, Fox, first one into Aga Tower. Now, aside from not getting the hit... oh, didn't explain earlier that, yeah, if you get hit, by the way, it messes up the whole rupee tree pull situation. So that's really why you don't want to. But if nothing else, what you want... you also really want to have beams for, if nothing else, for this first room that Fox is in. Because ideally, it's... you know, you spin a couple arrows, and then you would spin, and then you would finish that last card off. Unfortunately, you had to improvise a little bit. And also, it gives you a nice fast fairy skip as well.
Yep. We don't like to do Din because it's slow. But it's a good backup if you don't mind losing a few seconds. And
unfortunately for Kaz didn't get the drop. So it looks like he might be heading to the pot of no return. Well, we'll see. That's a couple dark rooms away. Fox manages to get through the first dark room pretty well here, or the maze, if you will.
Yeah, this room is bad.
Yeah, the problem with the maze is that it's one of those rooms that you literally can do everything right and still get, you know, messed up by a guard or something like that.
Yeah. The room Fox is in is also one that I tend to mess up with. He handled it really nicely with beams.
Mm-hmm.
Not taking any extra damage, not getting hit by that arrow guard. Kaz did not pick up that pot. Interesting.
Well, I mean, everyone knows that, yes, as y'all mentioned, the extra pot of dreams, as Fricker's calling it, which I don't know what we were calling it now. Oh yeah, he can get in. There is an extra green in Circle of Pots.
See, I don't know these little things. This is why I just get Saha rupees. And
there it is. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I only know where a handful of backups are, but usually if something like that goes awry for me, the run's kind of over. Kaz, a little bit of trouble getting the guard out, but he got the guard out of the way. Now, even though Fox is, a couple screens ahead here, now it's everyone's favorite.
Yes. Would you like to count Kaz's blue balls, or would you like to count Fox's?
I'll go with Fox.
Okay, I will count Kaz.
Okay, so this right here, of course, is pure RNG. There isn't really much to do. The only thing you can do for a time save, if anything, is if you can, to try to get Aga closer to the middle of the battle arena here. So that's about really all you can do. Then otherwise, it's just a matter of, spin to win, if you will.
I don't do well with math on screen, so I'm using my fingers to count.
No, that's fine. For those of you who want to know about the probabilities of getting the blue balls, then put them on the screen. I put them in chat for you. Right now, Fox is doing pretty well. I say that, and I know it's about to happen. Yep. Okay, so unless Fox somehow tragically messes up, he will be getting 3 blue balls. Which, not great, but as y'all can see from the probabilities, he had the one with the high statistics.
Kaz only got 2, so he does save a little bit of time.
He does. I don't remember how many seconds it is for that lightning, but I know it's quite a bit. So at least the race is back on. Not that it was ever off to begin with. But now they're both pretty much at the pyramid here. Correct. Yep, lost so. Yep. 12 seconds total save. There you go. The run is live. Speaking of racing, look who it is. It's Blaine.
The run may be live, but let's see how Pod treats our runners. There's a couple places that we might get lottoed in the overworld screen. Head into the dark Palace of Darkness. I'm sorry. And then there's a couple of spots in the actual dungeon that are just bad. I'm just gonna say it's bad if you mess them up.
And of course, as soon as we said something, Fox unfortunately did not get the spin speed off of the pyramid first try. Kaz did, but didn't hurt him too much now. So yeah, Pod Overworld here. Yeah, you do want to be mindful of getting lottoed, but otherwise, pretty simple. So yeah, you need 110 to get this idiot here, as Fox has, as Kaz is about to get. 10 to actually have the monkey. Oh, okay. He managed to dodge an RNG. Kaz gets the worst of the RNG because he has to deal with the idiot with the spear and the walking bush. Both get a good Kiki dash.
Yeah, they both got really good Kiki dashes there. Kaz, if I'm going to be nitpicky, was a little bit better. The monkey was a little bit higher up on Link's back, a little bit closer to the door.
Insurmountable. Insurmountable. The lead's too great now. The run's over.
So, we're going to come in, pick up an item, mirror out, go pick up a couple of bombs, pick up another item, mirror back out. This is where we get a lot of the bombs for the route by using the mirror, which resets the dungeon. And so we can take advantage of those pots with the bombs in them in that second room.
Correct. I believe this is literally where you'll pretty much be getting all your bomb. Like, this will be the only time in this dungeon, where you'll take the time to grab the bomb like that. So you'll be getting pretty much almost all of your bombs from the run. Fox got an extra one, though, which is nice to have. Usually, for safety, most of the time, a lot of us runners will grab at least one more bomb in Thieves Town. So, take a heart leave too, yeah?
Greenham, that's just for like every dungeon. You try to go and find a heart, you lose more than that, so...
Oh, no, Blue, I saw it. I saw the, I saw r/prequel memes leaking in the chat. Fox, unfortunately, took a bit of a jump. Alright, that's going to be unfortunate. That's
an extra heart, so if the bomb jump goes well, or the hammer jump goes well, he'll need to pick up 2 pots in Sexy Statue Room instead of just 1, which is an additional time loss.
But he doesn't, because he managed, because fortunately the mini Helmo was on the heart drop, so he managed to give himself a heart and redeem himself that way.
One time you love seeing the heart on the bridge.
Yep. Yeah, and so for those who may not be familiar, you have to be careful, because if back in Aga Tower, in the room that we call Fairy Skip, if a heart appeared there, then there could have been a chance that Helma could have actually dropped the fairy, which would be a problem for Turtle Rock later on. All right, both managed to get this. Both managed to arrow the switch, and now get the heart, and then get yourself some more bombs. and then just rub yourself against that statue and hit the switch. And it is important that the reason they stop on that left-hand side to get the... as both are having a little bit of trouble here with the mimics, but they both get through.
Fox did get the arrow drop, which is nice. I don't know. I don't think Kaz got one.
No, he did not. Fox managed to get the right drop. But it is imperative that you, ideally, you want to have beams coming into the back for a couple things. One, to get, well, Kaz's dash across, Ham disgusted, is that you want to make sure that you can simply beam the switch, and then also so you can beam the other switch that's down here. Kaz coming in to Turtle Party. Gets it. Fox, unfortunately, one turtle decided to go down because it was a jerk. So he had to spend a little bit extra time with the hammer. And Kaz is now retaking the lead as we're going into Helma.
Nothing ever goes wrong in Helma, right?
No,
easy fight.
Yeah, it's about as easy as Armos. Kappa. Kaz, though, opting for spin speed strats. That's fine, as does Fox, and they both get it. So again, as I'm sure you know, for any loyal viewer of these races, of course, the spin speed pretty much allows for the hitbox for the jewel and for the helmet to be extended in such a way where it makes the fight a lot easier than what it used to be. And I think Fox got the better RNG, as in he didn't get any fireballs, whereas Kaz did at least get one fireball. So Fox furious in chat, as you can see there. But
I gotta
yeah.
run check with my daughter. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, I mean, Fox is furious. Look at him. What emote is that? PP pouting in the corner. Yep, everyone get your pouts out. Get your pouts out. So far, both had, you know, ups and downs. Probably on their skill level, probably for their like personal opinions, not the best of pods, but at least still managed to get through. Kaz will be the first one out. Fox not that far behind. Now this is where I always feel like I feel like leaving pod overworld is where you have the better chance of getting lottoed, as you can see here. Lottoed, of course, meaning you get hit by one of these ropas. It was 2 for Kaz and 3 for Fox. But Kaz also had a Moldorm fall. It's your first try hammer dash. Oh, they love it. Fox, same, love it. They both are going to head to get the flute. Okay, and then both Kaz and Fox take the outer path there with the bushes. Now let's see if both can hit the quick warp. So first you gotta yell at Stumpy. Again, for those who may not know, you don't actually have to be touching the stump per se. As you can see, they both are thoroughly yelling at him, social distancing and whatnot. It looks like I can't tell on how the screen was cut. It didn't look like he got it. And it looked like, though, Fox did get it. And also 1 dig for each. Congratulations. I would clap for them right now, but I have to hold control for push to talk. So Kaz, though, was the first one out. Now, unlike before with the unholy spin speed, where, you know, it was questionable to do it for the library, here to me it's a little more important, just so you can get around that red guard there. Unfortunately, Fox did not get around he did not get around Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt actually tagged him. That's interesting. Hold this eggplant for push to talk. Okay. Thank you, Yoho. Okay, that was interesting, Fox. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello.
Fox almost died to Usain Bolt.
I did see that. It's
okay.
Not common for runners of this caliber to mess it up, but mistakes do happen. So we'll see how he handles it from here.
I mean, it's true, buddy. He is a fast guard. So we'll see how... Alright, Kaz will be able to get through 3 Musketeers, as does Fox. Now, even though Fox did take a heart of damage for Thieves Town, it's not the end of the world. It's not really a big deal. It's because we're really going to see... The only time it could play a role is if their Hellways go bad. Kaz, unfortunately, getting a lot of fairy lag there.
I believe both of them got that quick warp. Was I correct?
Yes, it looked like it was. Yeah, as long as you approach that particular portal from the left, yeah, the quick warp's free. More free than Total Rock. All right. Oh, good. So the red horse head managed to be nice to both of them. Sometimes when you hop down, the red horse head will straight up get in your way, and then there go 2 hearts of health.
Yeah, the little horsey dudes in here they move pretty erratically, and they can just be really, really rude and just walk right into Link at the most inopportune times.
Right, and of course, for the red ones, even more special, they have the ability to shoot fireballs. So that's also a nice little added touch. But both get through relatively unscathed. And Kaz gives himself key dash. So now this is where we want to start looking for here to see how, as Kaz will be first to come across what we call Hellway. So for Hellway, really what you want to hope for is first try, you get the pixel, and he uses the bomb menu to line himself up, and he gets it. Fox, he also got it, but unfortunately the Patrick Star said no. And hence he became a victim to the old Hellway.
Yeah, that RNG was just horrible.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. And Kaz also, Kaz and Fox both getting kissed by the grasshopper.
That's putting Fox in a little bit of a sketchy situation here in Attic.
Yeah, he's in a bit of a bonka situation. It will be curious to see how the rest of it goes, because, well, fortunately, if the rest goes smoothly, you shouldn't have to worry too much about damage, but I don't know how. We'll see how, I guess, really the prison's going to go. Kaz picks up the bomb in toilet room here. That's usually the one other bomb that we get along the way that's, kind of out of the way. So we make sure we have enough for the rest of the run. Now, Kaz, first one in the dungeon. Doing the dashes in between, and then you get the maiden. But of course, before you leave, you want to get yourself the Infinity Gauntlet. Fox also doing the dashes in between. Now you have to be careful with those dashes. What may not be entirely apparent there for those of you who may not be familiar is that you can't just run straight through. You actually have to stop and then walk to the door to open it, and then repeat that process, because you can bonk off those locks.
Which would be bad, because then that gives the blue horsey dudes more time to inappropriately touch Link.
This is true. That's usually the result, or even worse, that may give enough time for whatever reason for the red one to actually get in line to start shooting fireballs right down the middle of the lane. As now Kaz is jumped into, as Fox is now just about to start. As we always mention, the meme, and not even a meme, it's just a fact that this is a scripted fight. As long as you hit blind in the correct locations, it will be the same pattern all the time. Kaz had a little bit of trouble in Phase 3, but managed to get it, and Fox, though, managed to finish him off a little bit faster. But so even though that Fox had 3 hearts, though, still not a problem, able to get through the dungeon.
Yeah, ended up not being as scary in the basement of Thieves Town for Fox as it could have been. A lot of things could have gone a lot worse than it did. So both of them getting really good crystal catches. It's always nice to see the crystal dancing right above Link's head. Saves a few frames that way too. We're gonna ransack a couple of houses here in Thieves Town and pick up some money for our flippers. So we're going to pick up 300 in this bombable hut here. And then we're going to go do some hero work and rescue a frog. And he's going to reward us by making our sword better. And that makes the rest of the fights and Ganon a lot easier.
Yeah, that is very true. Mostly, I already forgot because I've heard this a couple times already, but pretty much the whole time to go getting the Tempered Sword is really, if nothing else, it's for Ganon.
Yeah, it makes, from if I remember correctly, it makes some of the other fights easier, but you don't really see or notice the big time save until Ganon. Yeah. Caznode is doing a bit of an older strat here, where he mirrors just outside of the smith's house, whereas Fox is doing the strat called Blank Smiths, where you mirror before, just as you're coming into the screen, so you don't have to worry about picking up those big rocks perfectly and not worry about losing time.
Ah, yes, and yeah, so Kaz manages to get it. That, of course, the one that Kaz does can be a little tricky just because you can mirror bonk yourself. So it's always something to be mindful of. But at least now... Oh, Fox. No spin speed, or no fence dash for Kaz. Fox gets the spin speed. Will Fox go for fence dash? He gets fence dash. So Fox with the clear advantage now from getting fence dash. So we'll see how that plays out for the rest.
So we steal the 300 from the Sea House to collect the rest of our money for the flippers, which will be in the next split. Now we're just going to dash through the Cursed Woods. I don't even know what they're really called, but heading over to Skull Woods.
Correct. So now the first room that definitely especially can be tricky for a lot of newer runners is this room here, the old mummy room, where you have to move a statue, get in position, all the while avoiding the mummies. And so it's a matter of both reading the RNG and being quick on your feet. But Kaz and Fox both got good patterns and good reactions. And so both will be getting their big key. Now, this is the second of, or not second, excuse me, because I didn't mention it earlier, just because they managed to do so well on the hammer jump, is the third of 4 bomb jumps that we care about is going to be the one for Fire Rod. Kaz set himself up, easy bomb jump, literally free. Checks. Old mummy room, these mummies are thousands of years old. Okay, very good. And both...
Fox
yes.
had a little bit worse mummy, or Moldorm, mini Moldorm RNG, and decided to go out the right side of the room instead of the left side.
Yeah, I just caught that. But yeah, so that'll be, because sometimes it can save, or either save time or be about the same time as opposed to actually slashing them. You notice Fox took a heart of damage there because he managed to get the fairy, managed to pop the fairy out earlier and managed to get the fairy, but you really don't want to have beams for the back here. As you go now through Mummy Hellway, Kaz, making it look easy, gets through, gets past the one mini Moldorm, doesn't get beamed, and so you really don't want beams for this part where Kaz is at now. You ideally want to actually have the slash. Fox having a little bit more trouble though in the Mummy Hellway, but still manages to get through. All right, let's take a peek here with Kaz. Kaz couldn't tell if he got the double. He did not, but still managed to get himself a nice kill. All right, the Doom to Jesus implies that Fox probably had a halfway decent moth fight. Let's see how true that is.
Yes.
He gets a double poke. He menus.
Oh, he maps. Oh.
And, okay. So he gets the double poke. And he needed to make sure where he was in the dungeon. But, all in all, not bad. Trying to keep it interesting.
Yeah, it looks like he had a 2-spike fight, and I think Kaz had a 3-spike fight. So, but I think Kaz's fight was faster because of the no map.
Yes, I agree with that. It's a little bit faster, so Kaz will retain his lead. So now, as Fox is finishing up the text boxes, so now this is going to be a fun. So I always find this split to be this one's
Frustrating, maddening?
frustrating, pain in the ass. I don't know how you want to describe it. You have to do the overworld can be so tricky, and ideally, the big thing too is you don't want to take damage in the overworld section because you want to have beams for the second room of ice. Kaz gets the quick warp. We'll see if Fox can also follow that. So as you see here, just a lot of dashing. We're gonna run all the way north. Let's see if Fox gets the quick warp or not. Sounds like he did. Yep. All right. Kaz opting for this.
It didn't look like it, but I don't have audio on, and the audio is a much more accurate cue.
Yeah, I thought he did, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Will Kaz go for quick fish? Yeah, I thought he did, Ham. Quick fish! Quick fish! Congratulations. Quick fish is cursed, by the way. Don't ever do it.
Not worth it.
So Kaz managed because again, even though those look like circles, it's actually squares. And so I both get quick fish. Yo, you tell me Kaz didn't? Oh my God, Kaz did not cut his dash before going in to Zordomain. Gonna lose a ton of time there of all a couple frames. Pix_6 coming in with that hot raid. Pix, thank you so much for that raid. Do appreciate it. Welcome, Raiders. You are watching the No Major Glitches tournament of caznode versus foxlisk. Commentary is done by Misanthropic Buddha and Twin Mommy 23.
So these puddles aren't as fun to dash through because there's all these Zoras firing at you, and you just lose a lot of time in this screen without even realizing that you're losing time. And then if you fall in the deep water, you lose even more time.
Yep.
It's just not a fun screen at all.
Yep. And what's also interesting, though, to note, too, as you saw with Kaz, and hopefully Fox will demonstrate as well. All right, Kaz, unfortunately, took a couple hearts of damage there, but he managed to get one back, but ideally, you really should have two.
I would have picked up the rock. He was right there anyway and gone for the 50-50 drop.
That is true. That probably would have been... Fox not... Ooh, okay. Good reactions from Fox. Getting past the Zora and... Alright. Barely gets through the tiny warp. And so this is the problem with Kaz. This is why you want beams. Because you see how... with Kaz, he had to wait for the jelly to stop shocking. And so that's kind of the problem, whereas when you have beams, as Fox is going to show, it doesn't matter if the jelly shocks or not, because you can easily get through it. Now, also what Fox briefly showed as well, is if you try to use the fire rod on the one key jelly, the problem is you have to wait for the fire animation. So all that takes time, all that adds up after a while.
Unfortunately, fire takes a long time to kill enemies in this game, and so we try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yep. And Kaz here gets a good bombable flow room, actually. So that's good. We'll see if
I didn't think that was a thing. You can have a good bombable floor?
It's true, you can. You can. Hopefully with runners at this skill level, hopefully that's the case. Ideally, you want to have beams, so as Kaz showed you, you can easily beam the two jellies to get them out of the way quickly. Kaz setting up for the fourth and final important bomb jump. Just a bit outside. Unfortunately, it was just a bit off, and he took a fall there. Now, this is dangerous for Kaz because he only has one bomb left. Should he miss this, and he doesn't, if he missed it, that would have been a real bad thing, because it meant essentially he would have to, the fastest way to do it is he would have to hover.
Yeah.
Fox got a first try. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, missing bomb jump there is a real big feels bad.
Correct. Because there's no real chance for bombs on the way. And now they're both screen for screen, but Fox going for stair clip. Kaz missed the dash, but still managed to get through. It sounded like Fox took the harder damage because he went through the wrong side of the stairs.
Yeah, that stair clip is a bit swaggy, but if you do it incorrectly, you can take the damage from the invisible spikes, which are, I guess, on like every staircase or something, or at least that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know about every staircase. I do know definitely that one has an invisible spike on it.
Cold stare is evil. That's all I'm gonna say.
So 8 fire rod shots to break the ice, which 8 shots means your entire magic bar. And then, let's see, they're both doing poke. Oh no, Kaz not doing poke. Kaz is having a cold stare party. Kaz is having a real bad cold stare party. Now he's got it. Okay, he needs to now read. All right, that's one.
This is.
All right, he has to really be careful with the ice, because the ice you can kind of. Okay, got it.
Oh, phew.
Okay, well, that was traumatic. So, all right, couple things. One, Fox is taking the lead. 2, for Kaz, that was actually really, really, good, obviously, that he managed to get through that first try, because obviously when you die at a boss, you have to restart the whole dungeon again. Now, the problem, of course, with Cold Stare, or Ice Palace in general, is that you're now out of magic. So then you actually have to leave, go get magic, come back, and for Kaz's case, get more bombs, and redo the whole thing. So what a lot of runners would have to do at this point, or at least in a tournament setting, would have to be, you'd actually have to go to Swamp, do Swamp, and then come back. That's usually the fastest, and I do mean fastest in quotes, to try to keep someone on pace.
If they wanted to, they could quickly try to farm those buzz blobs just outside of ice. They are in the magic pack, and then they could. There is at least one bomb in the bombable floor room that they could grab, and then the Stalfos are in the bomb pack, so they could pick up bombs there. But most runners will opt to just go to Swamp.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know that about the pickles.
Yeah, you can get magic from the pickles. It's risky because sometimes it takes 2 bushes to hit them or use up some of your valuable arrows. But you can sometimes get either a small magic pot, which will get you into the dungeon, or you can get really lucky and get a full magic pot.
Okay. So, TIL, I didn't know that.
Don't ask me how I know that. It's really depressing.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's not a problem. It's good to know. Interesting. Actually, I think this might be the first race that I've commentated where both. Well, hold on. Let me see what Kaz says before I say anything. Okay, both actually did the same shopping. Every race I've commentated, both runners did their shopping at different points in their runs. So both are doing. I don't know if it's the most popular version, but it's the one that I'm most familiar with. Is you get Ether and Swamp, the Swamp Palace split, and then you'll get the Ice Rod and the TR split.
I think that's becoming the more popular shopping options, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, there's never really a good time to get Ice Rod. Of course, the reason I prefer getting Ether and Swamp is so I'm more likely to have full hearts going into Mire.
Exactly. Swamp, it's meant to be the second dungeon in the Dark World, so it's a little bit. The enemies aren't quite as difficult. They don't hit as hard. And so having a few hearts missing coming into this dungeon is not as big a deal.
No, just the only problem. So unlike Ice Palace, where everything hits like a truck, there's just a lot of little things that can run into you. Okay, Kaz was straight hammer dash to pick up the bomb and the key. And so Kaz gets himself his key. Fox a little bit ahead here. And so now we go through the main hub. Gotta
How did that sword bash on Fox's side kill that first water Tektite? It was below him, and it still worked. How?
A sword hitbox is quite large.
I will never fully understand hitboxes in this game.
Ah, it's okay.
Never ever.
No, it's all right. Like with a lot of things, you kind of just you all of a sudden do it, and you won't be able to explain why. But you can just do it all of a sudden, or something will make sense. Kaz walks halfway to grab the arrows, not a bad thing. Fox remembering to hit the switch, very important.
Yeah, he had a great lever push there. He actually made it back a little bit onto the pegs before the cutscene started, which is really nice.
No, that's good timing right there. Absolutely. There have been many times where I've also tried to do that in runs just to not hit the switch.
He did get the RNG where that jelly hits you, though. Usually you can just dash right through that jelly and it won't hit you.
Unfortunately, yeah, got a little bit of a lotto there. Kaz messed up the hammer dash a little bit, but managed to recover. Fox getting through social firebar well, because he didn't get hit by the firebar, or by the fireball at the end. Opts for hammer dash.
Fox does love his item dashes.
This is true. This is true. And I mean, some of them are good if you can get them first try.
It's the first try that really gets you.
Oh, of course.
Item dashes are really most item dashes only save time if you get them first try. There are a few exceptions, I'm sure, but yeah, most of them first try or you're losing time.
This is true. So then Fox first one get hook shot, which is a very, very nice item to have. Fox trying to wait for the bubble to appear, but managed to get through it with no problems. So now Fox here, you're going to notice, well, you can't tell from the way he did it, but he actually did another item dash there where, you know, he hit Y and B at the same time in order to be able to grab the pot from the bottom while the statue's still in the way. Because if you don't do that, then you have to do a lot more movement to get the pot, or to pick up the pot to put the statue on that button.
So if you look at Link's feet, they do tend to move just a little bit faster, which kind of gives you a little bit of a clue on if he actually got the hook dash or not. Right. At least that's what it looks like to me. I could be completely wrong, but to me it looks like his little feet are moving a lot faster.
I haven't noticed that, but I mean, it's one of those things too, like everyone has very different cues for the same type of thing, so I mean, that could be the case. Interesting to note that Fox did not get anything in restock room, neither did Kaz, just because Kaz managed to actually got a bomb pickup, which is nice. Fox going for 0 cycle, unfortunately will not get 0 cycle, he will get 1 cycle, because Argus was not playing nice. And now Fox switches to Fire Rod, 2 Fire Rods and a spin, and that's it.
Let's see if Kaz gets... Does Kaz go for the 0 cycle? It looks like he's going to go for it.
He is going for it. And he gets it.
Very nicely done.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to get it with Argus coming down that fast.
Yeah, as I've seen from a lot of races, it seems that even though Argus can get right up in your grill, there is still a point where you can still, do the hook shot. He's not actually there because the puffs take up more room than you think. But either way, good on Kaz for trying to cut the lead a little bit here. So, of course, now Mire. Mire itself, for runners, is pretty straightforward, actually. Just, you want to make sure, really, I guess the big things is, you have to set up for Spooky, and you have to make sure, and ideally you want to have beams going into the second room of Mire.
I know Fox usually goes for the fast Mire too. I'm not sure what Kaz does. So fast Mire 2, you just kill the bottom Popo a little bit earlier than you would in the regular Fast Mire 2 strat.
Okay, interesting. So we'll see how that plays out. Fox does get himself a quick warp, by the way. Alright, so now Fox will switch... Alright, the most awkward menu in the game is the menu from Flute to Ether. Kaz does it early, which is fine.
And both are set up for Spooky, which doesn't surprise me at all. We'll see if they can get the second setup in the basement to work for them.
Correct. And so now let's see if Fox does the super fast Mire 2. No, he gets it. Well, he gets, you know, regular fast Mire 2.
Yeah, he gets fast Mire 2. Of course, he's got to prove me wrong. Well, I swear, he always goes for it. He's always yelling at us. Just do fast Mire 2, or whatever. Now that Kaz went for fast Mire 2. He did miss the bottom ropa, but he did go for it.
Okay, so it went from fast Mire 2 just to fast Mire 2 for Kaz as well. Of course, what we mean by fast Mire 2 is ideally you want to get the whiz robes all in one cycle before they disappear. You did go for it?
It did not look like you went for it.
My whole point is that even missing it, you still got a pretty good room. Alright, so clearly Fox must be at torches if he's now sitting here having a conversation.
Yes.
So alright, so I'm assuming, so spoiler alert, I'm guessing torches went well. Okay, he hit 2 of them so far. Gets the 3rd, walks over, lights the 4th, and now he's sitting here yelling at us. Okay, very good. And now Kaz also has a good slug room. Well, mainly the slugs are on the other side of the room, which is perfect. Kaz, torch, and then torch, walk around, torch. Okay, good.
Is sitting a little bit better on arrows at the moment. Because we will end up using at least 8 arrows on Vidi. Possibly more, depending on your health and everything. So we'll have to see how the rest of this dungeon plays out for them.
Fox with the bonk, but manages to recover and not take any damage. Will we see Spark Gamble? Fox goes down and sets up for it. The Fire Snake was not having any of it. Fire Snake ran by him anyway, because why not? And then he slashed with Righteous Fury. Kaz, on the other hand, also going for Spark Gamble, has the opportunity for it. Gets knocked back a little bit, but actually gets Spark Gamble. Or, you know, he got hit by the fireball. And so now we're going here. Fox going to get himself the small key. Get him through everything there. That's good.
Yep.
And so ideally you only want to be down 3 hearts of damage. Mainly from right there, just from, as Kaz showing you take 3 usually, ideally you take 3 hearts from the spikes. And now let's, as Twin said earlier, let's see if they can set up now the other part for Spooky. Looks like Fox got it, which, again, you look for the little kick up of dust, and then you see the kick up of dust, and then that's when you place the red block. So what should happen, as Kaz also looks like got it, and I heard it on Fox's side, that yep, when you hit that one spike, it actually lights up it actually hits the switch above. Now, of course, really Spooky is more important for runners is going to be the second room, because that's the one where all the time save happens, just because if you don't, then you have to use a bomb, hit a switch, leave the room, come back, and it's a whole mess. But both got it, no problems there. So let's see now Vidi fight. Fox with a good start, getting all the good spins, 2 left, gonna opt for slashes, gets a 0 cycle, so he's able to preserve his arrows, like what you mentioned earlier, only had to use 8, didn't have to use any more. Kaz.
Yeah, let's see how Kaz does over here.
Kaz only uses 1 extra arrow, but he has the arrows to spare. Also, an excellent Vidi fight. So good.
Wonderful. Vidi's been really mean to runners this tournament, and so it's nice to see our runners make it through tonight.
Yeah, just because the Vitreous fight can be scary, especially when you first learn it, or at least to do it with the speed strats, because it's a matter of timing yourself to get to taking damage from the goo, 1 heart, versus getting hit by anything else on that boss 4 hearts. And so since you're coming in really with a relatively low amount, it can be a bit dangerous. So, but now as Twin... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. What Twin said earlier is something important now, is as you're entering Turtle Rock, is you do have to kind of keep in mind of your arrows. And so, or at least for me personally, whenever I'm doing these, in that I try to... You get a chance to get 1 arrow pot as you're going through Turtle Rock, and then you can either get that pot, or you can wait until you get the GT, where, of course, you'll be guaranteed to get some arrows over there. What's up, Void? Yeah, Void. Welcome to the nightcap. Fox get himself an ice rod. No problems with the crabs.
Well, the crabs did get in the way for both of the runners, but they were able to take care of them without taking any damage, which is nice.
Oh, absolutely. So now we mirror to 1, and now we'll see how Death Mountain treats the runners again. Of course, Fox, smart use of the menu there to not run into the dead rock. Unfortunately, he did get cabbaged, and he did sit on a dead rock. So, unfortunately, Kaz as well gets cabbaged twice and had to avoid a dead rock. But Fox manages to get through. Kaz a little better time with that second part there, because fortunately the dead rock got out of the way. And then, yeah, okay, let's see how Kaz finishes up the other part of Death Mountain before he heads up to Paradox. And good, alright. So now the last bit for Fox here. Okay, good, he didn't dead rock himself, which you know, that's one of those places where you have... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was worried that he was with that dash up with those dead rocks being right there in that narrow spot.
Yeah, you can... I always feel like that's the highest probability, it seems, where you can get soft locked. Though probably has the fastest remedy for it. In that you just kind of go in the cave and come back out. Alright.
Fox did not get the free quick warp. Does Kaz?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
What a disappointment.
It's literally free, as Chex always tells me. It's literally free. Very good. So, moving now into...
our favorite dungeon. With our favorite enemies.
Oh, man. That means I have to tell you how much I love Chomps. I love Chomps.
Oh, who doesn't? I mean...
Chomps.
They totally belong in a Zelda game.
Chomps are important. They should be in every game. Every game made by Nintendo. Because they're a very important part. The fact that they're invincible, do 4 hearts of damage, and you can't do anything about it. Yes, they're perfect. Fox, though, getting a good torches and also a nice roller room as well. Kaz also gets the nice... And what I mean by nice torches room is after you light the torches, being able to hookshot that torch immediately so you can jump down into roller room. Kaz also getting a little bit of trouble opening the chest there, but manages to get out and will opt to mirror. Not a problem.
Yeah, with having to wait for that roller cycle, I think you might just break even coming out or mirroring out, and then you don't have to worry about taking extra damage. Fox had a very nice chomps too. Fox
had an excellent chomps, and because also what also helped him too a lot as well was getting the fairy drop in Poke Zero, and Kaz does not get that, so unfortunately he will not have beams. But the pattern is not as the pattern wasn't as nice to Kaz, and I think he fired a second shot a little early, or it just bounced off Chomp's head. But either way, doesn't take damage, he recovers, all is right with the world. Fox manages to... Fox will grab the arrow pot from underneath, so as you'll see with Kaz...
Bunny beamed.
As Kaz comes around, so that middle skull has some 5 arrows in it, and so depending on your arrow count, you may choose whether or not to get them now, or just wait until you get to GT, because it saves about a second.
So Fox got the down left RNG in Poke's one, where Caznode got the little bit more favorable, or easier, I guess I should say, one of the right RNGs.
Yes, and even though they both got bunny beamed, if you tap A as you're coming out of the pipe, you change quicker. You don't have to go through the entire poof animation. Fox having a good pokies too.
Yeah. Let's see how Kaz does in that. And Fox is heading into Crystal Roller Room, which with beams is pretty easy.
Very much so, yes. And so, as you see, and the reason it's so easy is that you don't have to waste time putting down any Mario blocks.
Yep.
Kaz also had a good pattern and a good pokies too. Now, as you'll see with Kaz, this is when you don't have beams, you got to use the red cane a bit, but manages to get through. Oh, and he gets the quick exit there instead of having the bomb. Yep. Now Fox manages to get through the platform room. Now we'll see how he does with laser skip. He skips the laser, and he skips the laser again, and he's off.
Very nicely done. I think it's Fox that I've been watching practice the fast laser skip, so he might have been going for that and then realized the RNG wasn't favorable and then decided to opt against it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to do it, so I'm more traditional of using the red block and placing it. Kaz just waited, slashed the beetle, but still managed to get through with no problems. He also will dash. Unfortunately, his second beam got caught up on something, so he had to throw the pot down. Fox with the backdoor strats, getting in the nice one cycle for Trinex, as you know.
Very nice turtle rock from Fox tonight.
Absolutely, yeah, very, very good. Which this dungeon can give a lot of people, a lot of runners, fits and conniptions just because of how difficult this is, and then also too, depending on if you're on pace or not or whatever, like nerves can start to get to you as well.
It's easy to make little mistakes that have big consequences in this dungeon.
That is true, because also what makes you pay for it too is the fact that everything, the parts where you do those little bits of mistakes that you're talking about can end up doing 3, 4, 8, 9 hearts of damage. Kaz also though gets the one cycle and has a good try next fight. So now both are pretty close coming into GT here. So we'll see how this will play out. So at least the race is still close. We still have plenty of race to go. GT, of course, is fun for everybody.
What about? We'll be generous and say 10 minutes left.
Yeah, probably
9 minutes left. I mean, we'll give them the
10.
benefit of the doubt.
10 is being 10.
Very generous.
It shouldn't take them 10 minutes, but unless Fox wants to item dash several times to try to get the hook speed. Then,
we do have a possible hook climb, and he just had his sword out for this cutscene. That loses like 50 billion minutes, doesn't it?
50 billion minutes, a couple frames, same thing. Let's see here. No, he's just the old double pump. Kaz does not leave his sword out, so the run's live. The run is live, fam. So I just want to make a mention now that if Fox does win this race, it is solely because he successfully did fence dash. Fox not opting for the torch key, because that's the slower one. He'll grab the one up top, right before Moldorm 2. We'll see if Kaz will follow suit or not. And so, really, there's a lot happening here, but in the bottom rooms for GT, but really, the trickiness doesn't really happen until really at Ice Starmos is really where it starts, because then you have to start worrying about a lot of other issues. But this is pretty, I guess, as straightforward as GT could be, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. Fox is going to have 19 arrows going into Ice Armos, which is fine, unless you mess up.
Well, a lot of runners, well, I don't know about a lot. From my experience, I will use 19 arrows, even though you only supposed to use 18, because I will have a tendency to chuck one to the wall.
Yeah, same
So
here. At least one.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see if he'll try to play it safe and opt for the chest or not. And he will not. He will go in with 19, which is fine. Whereas...
yeah, Kaz will have 20.
Kaz is going to have 20, so... Yeah, 19 is not bad. Ideally, it only takes 18. We'll see how this goes. See how well we can count to 3. Alright, looks good so far. And gets it. And he didn't even shoot one into the wall. Look at that. Pro gamer. Pro gamer.
Nope, just hacks.
Alright, straight cheating then.
Hacks.
My co-commentator straight up calling for cheating. But Fox also has to grab the 10 arrow chest in the back because, of course, you do need to have at least 8 arrows to come up here as you start out with the top. So
these mimic rooms are horrible.
Yep.
So frustrating.
Yes.
Quickly.
Yeah, to do these with any sort of actual speed takes quite a while. As Fox, okay, so Fox.
That was a nice recovery.
He had a bit of a slip up, but an excellent recovery, and I was worried because a lot of the times when you see that arrow go down, it ain't gonna hit the mimic. It's gonna hit the I-beam thing. Fox gets a good spike. Oh yeah. Kaz. Oh, Kaz also a little bit of trouble, but manages to recover. Fox not going for the dash. He's gonna walk it out. So he's got 2 arrows now coming into Gauntlet. So Gauntlet is really just... Oh, as Kaz also gets the spike skip. So, of course, Gauntlet, always a lot of fun, because all these rooms are a bit on the challenging side. Kaz takes the drop so he can just dash through everything. Of course, because every room in Gauntlet involves spikes, conveyors, or ice, or as you see in Fox, sometimes all 3. And, you got BMOS in almost every room. Fox, though, pretty good Gauntlet, all things considered. Let's see.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Kaz as well is making way through it. Unfortunately, Fox will not get the 1 cycle on Lambo because the first Lambo decided to go left, but managed to recover with a nice quick spin.
Yes.
Kaz having a little bit of trouble here in the final Gauntlet room, but still manages to get through.
Yeah, taking a little extra damage. Fox is sitting really healthy for these last few rooms in GT.
Okay, so Kaz... Alright, so Kaz also got 2 cycled, and because unfortunately he missed a fire rod shot. He threw one into the wall. Now, ideally, this is about... As you see on Kaz's side, you really could only afford 1 missed fire rod shot without having to pick up the magic pot, because you need to have just enough magic, as you see with Fox here, in order to use the red cane in the next, for 2 rooms, and to light up the torches for the first room. And so Fox gets through that. Now he's in torches 2. Very nice.
Yeah, very nice torches from Fox.
Kaz takes the hit. That's okay, though. And let's see here. Alright, so Fox... So you always want to be careful in that room where Fox is with the bomb, just because a lot of runners, i.e. mainly myself, will accidentally walk a little bit, and then that causes the bomb to get yeeted past the hole, or past the conveyor, and, you can't do the, can't put a hole in the wall. Fox and Kaz, absolutely no problem.
Yeah, he had a good Moldorm too.
Yep.
With that bombable wall, you have to be super careful because most runners will only have the 1 bomb in their inventory to make it through that room too.
Yeah, but fortunately, unlike Ice Palace, if you mess up there, at least here, you can just go back to the previous room and get a bomb there. Okay, so as Kaz finished up Moldorm 2, just a couple rooms away here, oh, that's not the best pattern in the world there. Oh, alright, good. He made most of it. Yeah, no, I lied. He made the most of it. I don't see the geometry as well as others. So
I struggle with this fight too.
Oh, he would have beaten him if
Then There we go.
if those last two beams didn't hit him all at the same time.
I think that was a double for Kaz as well.
Yeah, I think he's sitting on 3 hits. Yeah, sitting right there is probably the good one. Yep, and he gets him.
There we go.
3 cycle for Kaz, and I think a 3 cycle. No, 1, 2. I think it was 4 cycle for Fox.
I think it was 4 for Fox. Yeah.
Yeah. So now both coming into the Ganon fight again, pretty close to each other. So we'll see how really their Ganon fight here will be the difference. Now, of course, I mean if Fox doesn't have any problems and goes through all of this cleanly, then he'll be the winner here. But let's see. But that's not automatic. Really, the first part here is you want to make sure you get 12 hits for the trident spin, 12 hits when you see the fire bats. That if you successfully do this, then the next time he warps, the trident will be gone. And Fox has successfully did the 1-in-1. Fox got the good warp, as in only warped once. Okay, so far Fox.
Bad.
Okay, Fox getting a decent set of warps here. Kaz looks like he also has the 1-in-1.
He did do hookshot strats where Fox was inside the fire ring, but still works. Looks like our runners are doing just fine.
Unfortunately, for Kaz is getting that wonderful thing where
the warps.
Where just the infinite warps. Infinite warps.
Oh no, he missed the torch. He did get torch glitch earlier, so it's not horrible, but
yeah, it looked like he did
he did lose a little bit of fire.
It looked like he did the safe thing of it looked like he did the safe thing when he was trying to go for torch glitch. He just spammed the hell out of the lamp and then just fire out the rest of it. So 12
Smart
spins.
move.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So 12 spins to win here. For Fox, really the only way he could lose this now is if something goes if he falls. That's literally it.
Oh. Do not walk off the edge, Fox.
So assuming Fox does not walk off the edge, he will be the winner of this race. But Kaz will be not that far behind him.
Like the whole race, it's been really, really close, and it's been a good watch.
It has been, absolutely. And that is time. Fox has finished according to the bot of 125.50. He is the winner of the Midnight Special. Whereas Kaz here is almost done. So get your GGs ready for... Yep, and there he is. So assuming Kaz doesn't fall, he will also finish the race here. Not that far behind. So get your GGs also ready for Kaz as we will await for what the robot says for his time. The robot tells me that he finishes at the time of 1:26.24, so less than a minute apart. So excellent run. It was a good race. It was actually a very good race. So
it was excellent.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching this one.
Oh, absolutely. It was great to commentate and it was great to watch. So now they have to, of course, for those who may not know, now they have to run through the credits so they can show the bottles at the end. We will see if either or both or none will want to come in to get grilled by us. But we'll see how that goes here in a bit. So, Malcolm, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. There were
a few things, but that's the big one.
Yeah, but to be fair, also, like, even though there was the Hera fall, the fact that Fox got 3 blue balls for the most part, evened it out.
That's true. So it was just little things here and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, foxlisk, the winner. GG's to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you,
obviously, you were busy being a spoiler by telling us essentially what happened based on your reactions. So you were watching the race, of course.
Yes.
When you had 3 blue balls and he had 2, when did you start to panic?
Well, almost immediately. You could tell when I dashed into the pit in pod. It was pretty much over for me at that point. Right. I don't know. I was pretty nervous throughout most of the Dark World, honestly. But it worked out in the end. Just barely. Good lord.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, no. They said it's about 30-second difference there. So, because, as you saw, even though he fell in Hera, the fact that you had that extra, had to wait for the whole extra lightning cycle kind of canceled all that out. So
Yeah.
that was good there. So I'm trying to think. So otherwise, so you did say you were trying to go for the fast mire 2, or the fast mire 2.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, Twin is saying absolutely not, just because I don't know what it is.
It didn't look like it to me, but
So-
I don't do that strat, so
Okay, here's how it works. What you do is when you dash up through the first upwards dash in that room, you slash the popo to the right. So what happened was I hit B too early. When you slash through an enemy, you can't, or when you dash through an enemy, you can't slash for a few frames afterwards. And so I pressed B while I was in that lockout period. But then I just didn't slash, and then you just do the normal strat, and it's fine.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were planning on going for it, but you just messed up just a smidge, and then you still got a fast mire too, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like that strat so much, is that most of the ways that I messed it up, at least, it just still is fine.
Right.
What happened on the Usain Bolt screen? I go to check my daughter,
I
and
don't know.
and you're getting poked in the butt.
I
So-
don't know what happened. It felt fine, and then I got owned. I'll have to
Yeah.
watch that back.
Yeah, we were all very confused. Very confused seeing that. But also, I appreciate, though, you trying to keep the race close near the end by messing up the hook dash going into GT.
Yeah.
That was appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah, and then messing it up again, and then messing it up again, and then messing up again. That was a lot of fun.
Right. And, of course, as at least for anyone who commentates, who I commentate for, so the quick warp at Turtle Rock. Explain to me why it's free.
It's not. It's
There we
impossible.
go. Finally, someone admits the goddamn truth. That's what I've been waiting. I've been waiting for that for the longest time. So now that you have won, you get to move on now to, I guess, the 10th round. I don't want to say semifinals or quarterfinals because the losers from the winners bracket keep getting thrown in.
I think it might be losers' quarters that I'm.
Is that what it's called now? Okay,
but I'm not sure.
Either way, you will be taking on the winner of Bide Boyardee, Brandon, and Andy.
Yeah,
So
that should be good.
Should be. So that'll be an exciting thing to watch, and hopefully that'll be a fun time had by all. And let's see here. Okay, Kaz will be joining us here in just a moment. We're still waiting for him, so we need to poke fun at him. But all in all, though, I mean, according to your splits, a 125.50, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Better than your average. You've been averaging, so if you've been wondering, you've averaged a 126.54. So
That's just for the tournament, correct?
yeah, that's just for the tournament, yeah.
It is 0.0. It's plus 0.7 on my median splits according to Live Split.
There you go. Science. But all right, yeah, so excellent. So well, I mean, I know for you guys are still awake, but it's 1:30 for me. I wanted to ask. There he is. Jesus.
There we go. GG, Kaz.
I was about to leave.
Yeah, good game.
Kaz, keeping it close, but let's start back into the obvious question. So when you fell at Moldorm, when did you start to panic?
I mean, as far as panic goes, panic didn't really kick in until later in the game. But because at that early stage, you can only be like, well, it is what it is, but you can only keep going.
Right, and then because I didn't see you in chat, were you watching the race?
No, I had no idea.
Okay, because really the turning point, or at least to kind of bring you guys back to even, was when you got 2 blue balls and he got 3. So that was kind of the big turnaround. But otherwise,
And then I'm guessing maybe somewhere around the end of Ice Palace, things maybe changed.
Yeah,
so
the cold stare party kind of. Fox, I think, had a small cold stare party.
Yeah,
But,
it looked like Kaz had a pretty terrible cold stare fight, though.
Yeah.
It was a party, all right. It was a blowout.
yeah, no, he Yeah, if you go back and listen to the commentary, know that we were both scared for you.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, there was that and the bomb jump.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, but you managed you've survived it, and you managed to get through, and at least you finished pretty damn close to Fox. So at least from an outsider point of view, this was an excellent race. It was not a blowout or anything of that nature. It was a nice close race the entire time.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah, as far as panic goes, the only place I think panic really kicked in was after missing that bomb jump the first time, because it's like you know that you missed it, and you know you're down to one bomb, and so it's like, well, have to not do that again, or this is over.
Right. Yeah. Of course, because I always feel like that's when you lose like any of your confidence too, just because you mess up that bomb jump, you have one bomb left. Yeah, no pressure. Because then I was also explaining too, when you were at the one heart of cold stare, if you were to die there, the amount of work you need to get back to it.
Mm-hmm. How did Fox's Ganon look? Because probably the only thing I'm actually a little salty about from that race is like the awful warps and placements he gave me.
The difference there was Fox.
I got one warp. I think it was not very many warps, maybe 2.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had won if I didn't miss Torch Glitch, so I did lamp Torch Glitch, and then of course I immediately go for a totally pointless, gratuitous cape spin and miss 2 spins going for it. But it was still fine. So
he gave. I still had going into Ganon, and I was thinking, okay, I can still get a 1-2-5, and I'll be really happy with that. But he gave me, I'm pretty sure, over 10 warps. He turned blue in the top right, and then warped somewhere where I couldn't get him after the torch glitch.
Yeah, that sucks.
Pretty much. Yeah, he gave you literally the worst possible pattern you could get, aside from just him doing infinite warps. But like I said, you managed to recover. It's unfortunate that's you getting unfortunately the RNG of Ganon deciding the fight here. But unfortunately for Kaz, this is going to be goodbye. He is going to unfortunately be eliminated from the tournament, but he's had an excellent run, all things considered. Yeah, I'm looking at his notes here. Yeah, had a great run.
Didn't Kaz PB quite a few times during this tournament? Maybe not during races, but during the time frame of this tournament.
I finally cashed in on my 124 during this tournament, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah, there you go.
And I had like probably the godliest run I'll ever lay my own hands on, and that's what my current PB is. And even though I didn't quite convert it, it's still cool just to see what potential is there.
Are you going to keep going? I feel like if I tasted the God Run, I wouldn't be able to quit so soon.
I feel like I need to go a little further. I don't know if I'll take it all the way to like 123 or something, but
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I still feel like I've got a little bit of unfinished business.
Oh, okay, but still though, yeah, you've definitely been one of the runners who have managed to really kind of play out of his mind throughout this run, which is good. But like I said, this is going to be it. Do you have any final questions, Twin?
Nope, I am good. Excellent race to both of you. I really enjoyed doing the comms for this, and thank you so much for playing.
And finally, Kaz, since this is goodbye for you, what do you have to say to you or to hopefully any adoring public who are still left and haven't fallen asleep yet?
Thank you so much to the organizers of this tournament. I had a great time. The format was really neat, and it was certainly, I feel privileged to have been part of it and to have gotten so many runs commentated and have so many people show up and watch, and it's just a great time. And I'm glad that I managed to be a small part of helping put it on.
Oh, no, absolutely, and thank you for sticking it out, at least, seeing through it to the end. And then finally, Fox, even though you will be taking on the winner of Bide Brandon Boyardee versus Andy. What do you have to say to your adoring public?
I'm not sure I have one of those, but I would like to say thanks to all the same people Kaz did. Thanks especially for doing this at what are normal hours for me, but sort of crazy hours for everyone else involved. Doing a restream and commentary and stuff this late at night, it's really cool of you. Really appreciate it. And GG's to Kaz, of course, was a really fun race.
Good game, well played.
Excellent, excellent. And so on that note then, I will throw it back to Lost.
Okay, what we have coming up is a whole bunch of Link to the Past randomizer. We have 4 Challenge Cup matches coming up on the schedule for tomorrow, or today for a large portion of the world. At 12:40 Eastern, 5:10 Eastern, 10:40 Eastern, and for another lovely midnight matchup. We will be showcasing 4 different groups matches for the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup, which just started up this last weekend. So hopefully everybody can come hang out and enjoy a bunch of chaos, because that's kind of what's going on. Controlled chaos, but fun. With that, I will call it a night. We're all half asleep here, so please put your favorite sleepy time emote into chat, and rest well tonight.